doesn't keep happening. But beyond that, you don't think about it. Maybe you even feel a little guilty about it. But what can you do? You wouldn't know where to start. I get it. I really do. I lived it. Can I let you in on a little secret? I don't really want to think about it either. I would love to be able to go through a day without a memory trying to take me down, or panicking when I hear an ambulance siren, or feeling tears collect in the bottom of my eyes when I hear news of an active shooter. I would love to live my life that way. But I can't. I don't have that option anymore. And in some ways, I'm actually thankful for that. Because here's the thing. People are hurting and suffering. Survivors are re-traumatized daily as more and more people become victims themselves. Gun violence is wreaking havoc on our country, and the effects ripple out farther than we can possibly know or imagine. We, all of us, have to look at it head on. We have to stop turning away. I spent a lot of days feeling forgotten. In the weeks and months after the shooting, most of my friends and people in my life were able to move on with their lives. Things went back to normal for them. But I was drowning, trying to figure out what my life was supposed to look like. Surviving a shooting is a whole thing. Getting shot is a whole other thing. Living in the aftermath of the trauma and trying to make a life for yourself in the midst of the surviving is, for lack of a better term, messy. It baffled me how every morning people got up and had their coffee and went to work like nothing ever happened, while I laid in my bed struggling to find a reason to get out of it. Most painful of all was the realization that those who turned away, who remained silent, were the ones I most expected to see on the front lines, leaning into my pain, joining with me to call out for healing, justice, reform. I expected to see my fellow Christians, the church body as a whole, rally around the issue of gun violence and fight for a better, more peaceful, more loving vision for our nation. I expected to see the church loudly proclaim that lives of our fellow human beings are worth more than guns. I had been following Jesus almost my whole life, and everything I knew and believed about him told me that as believers, we are to love our neighbor as ourselves, plead the cause of the hurting, and defend the least among us. We are even instructed to only seek the good of others instead of our own good. Yet as I became more involved in advocating for gun reform, I saw very little of that, sometimes none at all, and the greater the silence from the church rang in my ears. Seeing my fellow Christians remain silent as violence ripped at the fabric of our communities and survivors were wielded as political footballs increased my pain exponentially. To those who should have seen me most deeply, I felt invisible. That's why I don't want to look away from the pain of other victims, survivors, and families. This pain deserves to be seen. Someone has to look and really see. Someone has to remember, because no one should feel forgotten. Someone has to decide that enough is enough. This pain has to be used to propel us to a better future. I'm grateful for the people who have chosen not to look away. Many of these people are fellow survivors, and I am honored to call them my friends. Many have lost their people to gun violence, and many are just people who realized we don't have to live this way. But in order to do that, we have to choose not to turn away. So I'd like to invite you in. I'd like to offer you a chance to look at the pain, to sit with it, and to resist the urge to turn away. I want to ask you to fight against that nagging thought telling you that gun violence is too divisive and